Hey guys, and welcome back to SmokeScreen. We are going to talk about Stranger Things Season 3. For all you 80s kids out there, you know what this is all about. You know they nailed the 80s. I mean, this neighborhood from Season 1 of the kids riding around on their bikes and all that stuff was literally my neighborhood and my friends almost. So really love how Stranger Things gets the nostalgia going, and they completely nail it when it comes to the 80s. I mean, the sheets that were hanging over the little fort in Will's basement were literally my sheets on my waterbed. So anyway, Stranger Things Season 3 is here. I have only watched episode 1, so that's what we're going to talk about. I will be watching one episode at a time and then recording a little review, recap, whatever, to talk about it with you guys, as opposed to trying to binge the whole entire season and then going back and remembering every single thing that happened in each episode. So anyway, let's jump right into Stranger Things Season 3, Episode 1, Susie Do Copy. But first, let me thank my newest Patreon. Thank you to Lady Celtic. Really appreciate the support. As well as my newest channel member, Nomi Lopez. Really appreciate the support, you guys. You can now join the channel by clicking the join button right beside the subscribe button as well, which supports the channel. Alright, so we open up with the crew going to a brand new mall, it looks to be. This is definitely a thing for the 80s for sure. New malls opening up with escalators and all this stuff. Very similar to Season 2 when we opened with a new arcade. So there are a few callbacks here and a lot of parallels with the previous seasons. We open up where Dustin had apparently gone to summer camp for a while, so that's why he was MIA for a little bit, but he comes back for summer camp, and apparently, like everyone in the show now, he has a girlfriend named Susie, because once everybody comes back and kind of gives him a little welcome party, I really liked that. That was fun. He thought nobody cared that he was back, but they were secretly hiding there. Eleven made all the little robots move and bring him to the living room, where they basically try to give him a surprise party, but he still has the Farrah Fawcett hairspray and spray the shit out of Lucas in the face. So I know that burns, been there, done that. Now, of course, later on, Dustin takes his buddies on top of this little hill where he builds this ham radio to communicate with his supposed girlfriend, Susie, and of course, he doesn't get anything at all, but once they leave, he hears a broadcast from the Russians where they are operating from some secret facility, I'm assuming in Russia, where they apparently call the monster or the mind flare the Silver Cat, because the transmission keeps saying the Silver Cat is eating, and of course we see the thing with mice running around, or rats I should say, going to the steel factory where apparently the mind flare is now back in town. It's also important to note that the very beginning of the episode with the Russians, when we saw the device at work where they're trying to open up another portal, took place, I believe it was June 28th, 1984, and if you remember, Season 2 was in October of 1984 because it was right before Halloween and during Halloween, if you remember the trick-or-treating. So this means that these Russians have been at this for quite some time before Season 2 ever actually aired. We know 11 closed the gate last season supposedly, but I don't know what they have been doing or what they've been working on. Apparently something is now successful because we saw the power go out in the mall, obviously, and that's when the mind flare apparently came back into the world, not through a portal, however, in this little steel shop on the edge of town somewhere. So I'm not sure how the Russians doing things over there, trying to open a portal, is affecting this small town over in America. We see, of course, Eleven and Mike are dating now, and Hopper is going crazy. I can completely relate to this as a father of now an 18-year-old. I've been going through this now for about 5 or 6 years. It absolutely drives you insane. I was laughing at this whole entire scene when Hopper's going crazy about them making out in their room and completely relating to him at the same time, wanting to go in there and tell Mike to go to hell or do something even worse. I totally get it, Hopper. I'm with you, man. We see that Will is still sensing things with his spider sense. Obviously, we saw the hair standing up on the back of his neck in the movie theater, as well as when we saw the rats on the hill when he was up there with Dustin as he was heading up to try to get in contact with his girlfriend. So Will obviously is still connected to the mind flare in some ways we saw last season. We see now that Steve is working at an ice cream shop in the new mall trying to pick up chicks. We see that Charlie and Nancy are still a thing. They are obviously dating, as we see them wake up together as they're late for their jobs at the local newspaper. So now I believe Charlie is a photographer and Nancy is some type of assistant, where they really don't take her that seriously, where I guess she's trying to break into the world of journalism. So we definitely have a theme of love going on this season. Everybody is now coupled off pretty much. You have Max and Lucas dating as well, as I mentioned, Charlie and Nancy. You have Eleven and Mike. You have Hopper has feelings for Joyce, and Joyce does have feelings for Hopper as well, although Joyce does in fact miss Samwise Gamgee. Of course, he was killed last season by the Demogorgon dog thing. And of course, badass Billy, who drives around in the Camaro, Max's brother, is now working as a lifeguard somewhere, and he tries to hook up with Mike's mom, Mike and Nancy's mom, and she actually considers it. And I'm not sure if she actually went through with it. She was going to meet him somewhere to basically cheat on her husband, but then she walks downstairs and sees her husband and little girl asleep in the chair, and I believe she pulled out of it. She didn't go, she didn't follow through with it, so good on her. But Billy trying to pull those cougars, and of course on the way to this rendezvous, Billy actually crashes his car near this steel factory and gets pulled down the stairs by this mind flare creature, monster, whatever you want to call it. And I got a feeling that's not the last we're going to see of Billy. If you remember in season 2, Will was kind of possessed, for lack of a better word, by this mind flare. And I believe that's what we're going to see out of Billy this year. Just a guess, I have no idea. I have not seen any spoilers. Again, I haven't watched past episode 1, but I don't think they would do all that, especially with Mike and Nancy's mother, if we wasn't going to see Billy again in some capacity. So I don't think he's just dead. I think he will be the conduit for this new monster this year. So overall, this was a good episode. We had the reemergence of the mind flare. We saw that the Russians have started tinkering with this stuff as well, way before season 2. We definitely have the love theme going on, as I mentioned before, with all these different characters kind of pairing off into couples now. We'll see how that goes throughout the season. We had a few little callbacks with the Farrah Fawcett hairspray and some very similar shots as parallels to previous seasons. And we see that this mind flare monster now is feeding off rats for some reason. They're all attracted for whatever reason to this warehouse where it came back into the world. And of course, Will can still sense that, so he's still connected in some way, just like Billy is. Will, Billy, William, all the same name. Not necessarily a coincidence there. I do worry a bit that they may not be able to pull everything off again with the same type of monster. This is what I said to you guys in live streams before as far as seasons 1 and 2. Once they got past season 1, which was outstanding, season 2 was great as well, but I worry the longer they use the same type of monster as far as this gate to another dimension, the Upside Down, that they may get a little too cheesy with the monster stuff or whatever, and it makes you question. Everybody's pretty much lived so far except for some side characters. Are we going to lose some main characters this year? Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Have you seen Stranger Things Season 3, Episode 1? And what do you think so far? I know a lot of you guys are probably binge watching it, and I want to so bad, believe me, but I want to watch each episode and then at least record one of these little recap reviews as well and kind of do it as a regular show that comes on once a week. So anyway, guys, as usual, thank you for all the support, especially you guys on Patreon, and a huge shout out to my executive Patreon SmokeScreen producers, as well as all my channel members as well. Really appreciate the support, especially right now when YouTube is completely broken, at least for me. And as usual, if you dig what I do here, please give these videos a like, comment, and a share. And please be sure to subscribe to get everything and click that notification bell twice so you're notified when I drop a new video. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.